What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's your boy Doc Mono, and today I got another guide, this time for the Havoc Demon Hunter. So relative to the other bosses, I didn't think Havoc was that hard. The second phase is definitely a big DPS check, but I found some tips and tricks that helped me out with this boss that made it a lot easier, and hopefully these will help you out as well. So we'll start with talents. So for talents, you're going to change your talents when you go into the second phase. But for the first phase, you want Demonic Appetite because it gives you more survivability. Second row, I went with Insatiable Hunger. Third row, I went with Glaive Tempest. Fourth row, I went with Soul Rending. Again, this gives you a lot more survivability. Fifth row, Cycle Hatred. Sixth row, you want Fell Eruption, just because it gives you another crowd control for the boss, so he's not just frostbolting you to death. And then last row, you want to take Demonic, just because again, it lets you go into meta, which means you get more leech, which means you survive better. It's important. For the second phase, you're going to want to take Blind Fury, because it does more damage, and then you're going to want to take Master of the Glaive in this row here, just because it helps you snare the little ads he spawns. So that's it for talents. Let's go over my gear. So for gear, I just have a normal Shadowlands headpiece because it has leech. I took the Battle for Azeroth neck just because it has 3 secondary stats. I just got a normal Shadowlands shoulders. I got the legendary cape from Battle for Azeroth because again it has 3 secondary stats. I took the stamina and leech enchant for that. I have a normal Shadowlands chest with primary stats, or eternal stats I believe is the name of the enchant. I have normal Shadowlands wrists with versatility socket. Normal Shadowlands hands with Shadowcore oil on them, and one has Celestial Guidance, one has Sinful Revelation. I have normal Shadowlands hands with speed, because it helps me get around easier. Normal Shadowlands waist with speed. I have the legendary boots from Legion, which have the 3 sockets, and I put agility in one of them and versatility in the 2 others, and then enchanted it for agility. Took the Legion legendary ring because it has 3 secondary stats and a socket, which I socketed with agility and versatility, and enchanted with versatility. Normal Shadowlands ring, socket, versatility, enchant, versatility. Now for trinkets, this is where things change up a little bit. I took the Ravaged Seed Pod, and I used that for both phases. It was very, very useful. And then I took the Ghost Iron Dragonling. So if you don't know, this is actually an engineering trinket. So you can buy these off the auction house. I noticed when I went phase 2, this really didn't do much damage at all, so I tried another trinket. The pocket-sized computation device, this is from Battle for Azeroth. This actually did a lot of damage in the second phase, and if it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't have killed it. But yeah, so in second phase, that's the only thing I changed gear-wise, because you can use a tome, swap your talents, and you can swap out your gear. I swapped this out for the second phase. So I wanted the Mechagon trinket for the second phase and the Ghost Iron Dragonling for the first phase. The Ravaged Seed Pod I used for both phases. For consumables, I used Potion of Unbridled Fury, and I macroed that with my Drums of Deathly Ferocity, and I popped that on pull as soon as we went into the second phase. You don't really need it for the first phase. You don't need Lust or anything for the first phase. I would definitely hold that off for the second phase. My health pots were just Spiritual Healing Potion, Veiled Augment Rune. I would eat Steak a la Mode just to get some extra versatility. And I used Shadowcore Oil. I used Heavy Desolate Armor Kit, which you apply to your chest and it gives you a little bit more stamina, a little bit more health. More survivability there. And then I use Spectral Flask of Power. You can use the Greater Flask of Endless Currents, I think is what it's called. It's the BFA agility flask. That's the best one. Oh wait, I actually did use it. Never mind. I had been using Spectral Flask of Power, but I think the one time I decided to just use an Agi Flask from BFA is the time I actually got the kill. So yeah, Greater Flask of the Currents is the best one to use, but you can still use Spectral Flask of Power. So this fight, like I was saying earlier, it's not that hard once you kind of figure things out. One thing you're definitely gonna need is you're gonna need Deadly Bosses mods, all right, because you need to be paying attention to your timers, and I will point those out. I moved it so that my timers are right here next to, you know, my target and everything, just because it helps me see everything. The trick to doing good on this fight is to pay attention to the timers, all right? For all the other challenges I've done, I didn't have to pay attention to them near as much as I did on this one. I also made some weak auras that helped me out. I made a weak aura that told me exactly when my Ravaged Seed Pod would come up, so I could use it on cooldown. Same with Glaive Tempest and Blur, because I noticed I just wasn't pushing those as much as I should have been. But yeah. Fairly straightforward fight. I'll show you the easy way that I did it, that helped me out a lot. And yeah, we will go to the video of the actual kill right now. Alright guys, so right off the bat, you want to interrupt him, Immo Aura, Glaive Tempest, and drop your Seed Pod so you get it on cooldown. You do one I-Beam, and then you go into meta. Okay, after this meta, you do not push meta again until you're in the second phase. You want it on pull when you go into the second phase. You also want to save your next I-Beam, because you're going to use it to destroy the shards and get soul fragments back so you can heal. So only do one I-Beam, don't I-Beam after you meta just yet. You interrupt him, you bait him over these these ice shards, then you I-Beam into it. And now you see you got all these soul fragments here that you can heal yourself with. This is what you're going to do over and over for the whole first phase here. He's going to port away, you interrupt him, save and interrupt so you can interrupt him right as soon as he ports away. And then you I-Beam into the frost shards, that way you get your souls back. And then you just repeat that. He's going to do this about, I think, 3, maybe 4 times. This should be like the last time he does it here. So again, double jump over, interrupt him. Now, some of you might be wondering why I'm blade dancing a single target. The only reason I blade dance is so I can just keep damage on him while facing away from him as I kite him. Like, I probably could have angled it to where I could still, like, chaos strike him and stuff, but it was just easier for me to, like, blade dance and run away so I could bait him over near the frost shards. Alright. So this is another big point. It's probably hard for you guys to see, but, like, right above where the play button is on the screen, you're going to see it says Arcane Phase. Now, whenever he switches phase between Arcane and Frost, you want to be as close to the center as possible, because he's going to port away and he's going to cast Arcane Annihilation, and you're going to have to find his clone, and you don't have long. If you can't get over there in 2 fell rushes, more than likely you're going to die. You could Vengeful Retreat, but it's easier to do with 2 fell rushes. So you always want to make sure, as soon as you see Arcane Phase come up like that, or Frost Phase, you get to the center. Alright. So, I'm gonna go back real quick here. So, if you look at your mini-map... Here, let me hide this. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. So, if you look up at the top right on your mini-map, you'll be able to see where he ports to right away. I use my mini-map. I don't even bother looking for the clone with my eyes. I just look at the mini-map and I make a beeline. Usually he's on the opposite end of the map where you are, so I can already start heading that way, because he always ports there. Like, you'll notice here, I don't even, like, look for it. I just go the opposite direction where I was. I interrupt right away. I I-Beam, Glaive Tempest, and then I get ready to dodge. So when he's doing his Shadow Barrage, this is really good, because this is time where you can Chaos Strike and you can get Soul Fragments and heal yourself up. I also prefer to have Eye Beam for this, usually because I can just leech back any health he's, you know, chunking away from me. But yeah, for Shadow Barrage, you just be careful and avoid all the shit on the floor. You don't want to get hit by those, it's really bad. So as you can see from looking at my timers, he's about to do draw power. Since I have my timers right next to my target frames, I can see that that's coming, and I know to have some sort of CC available, whether it be Fell Eruption, Disrupt. You can use Demonic, you can use your Imprison on him, you can use your Chaos Nova. Doesn't matter. As long as you have something you can interrupt him with, you want that. Otherwise, he's going to gain stacks of a buff that increase the damage he does, and if he gets too many stacks, you're fucked. So, you want to make sure you interrupt that right away. He's about to cast it here, and there you go. Interrupted it right away. He didn't even get one stack. So not long after he casts that, he ports away. Like you could see there, I already knew he was going to port away, and I started moving because he ports away to the complete opposite end of the map. So here when he's casting Arcane Barrage, you just gotta survive. That's really all there is to it. Usually he ports away one more time. Looks like he's not gonna do it before Shadow Barrage here. Okay. But this is good. It's good that he Shadow Barrage because that gives me an opportunity to get my health back. Also, during this phase, when you pop your Ravage Seed Pod, you kind of want to make sure you do it like as close to right after he ported as possible, because if you do it too late, he's just going to port right out of it, and you just didn't get any value from that. So if he's going to Shadow Barrage, that's usually when I prefer to drop my Ravage Seed Pod. That way I know he's going to be standing in it for a little bit. Frost Phase. Okay, so he's switching phases. So I saw on my little notifications Frost Phase, so I knew the second I see that, I need to haul ass towards the center of the map, because he's about to port away to the opposite end. Arcane Annihilation, you can see over here, it says at 0.9 seconds. I'm not even looking for him, I'm just looking at my map for the yellow dot. I see he's over here, and there we go. Before I knew to look at my actual timers and stuff, I would die during this phase every single time just because I could not get to his thing quick enough. I could not get to him quick enough. So here again, I want to interrupt him and keep him as close to the center of the map as possible. That way when he ports away, I can reach him and he's not just chunking me down with Frost Bolts. Also, I should be pressing blur here, honestly, but I don't know why I wasn't. So this is where Fell Eruption comes really in handy. Like when he ports away, I recommend whenever he ports away and you're going to go interrupt him, start off with a Fell Eruption. Alright, that way you get a little bit of downtime to get your health back from soul fragments, and then when he comes out of that Fell Eruption CC, then you interrupt him and drag him back to the center. See there, I'm interrupting him and I'm dragging him back. I don't quite get him perfectly all the way over there, but close enough to the soul shards where I can get, you know, soul shards, frost shards, to where I can get my soul fragments. See, my health is doing just fine right now. I have like 4 or 5 soul fragments there that I haven't even picked up yet because I don't need them. This is the way you want this phase to go. This is a very clean run. So he ports away. Fell Eruption just to get him to shut up. Eye Beam. And then I interrupt him and drag him back to the center. He's going in Arcane Phase. He's swapping phases, so I know to get towards the center of the map because he's going to port away. Luckily, I have 2 Fell Rushes there. You always want to make sure you have a Fell Rush for when he transitions. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. Alright. I'm going to pause the video here. Alright. So now he transitions at 10%. Alright. So when he transitions, you're still going to be in combat for a bit. But the second you drop combat, I start eating so I can get my health back. No. I tome and then I start eating. Okay, so that way as I'm eating, I can change my talents, swap out my gear, we're good. So I'm going to swap my trinket. I'm going to take off my Dragonling trinket, and I'm going to equip the Mechagon pocket-sized computation device. So I'm toming, I'm eating, I'm equipping the right trinket, and then I'm putting on the right talents. Again, you want to take Master of the Glaive and Blind Fury. You need Master of the Glaive for, what's it called? To CC the little ads. And you want Blind Fury for damage. Alright. So, for this phase, first off, you want to be close to the boss when you were eating. That way you can pick him up pretty quick. But you want to bait him immediately to the edge of the map. The boss is going to drop these pools of black shit that hurt really bad, and they slow you, and they will kill you if you stand in it for too long. I've wiped many times right at the end just from the black shit, and I didn't realize I was standing in it until it was too late. So yeah, it's a huge space management thing. Think back to my last video with the Holy Paladin guy. You want to make sure he's dropping those on the edge, all right? And then you kind of stutter step back from him so you're not, you know, standing in it as it's kind of expanding outward. All right. Okay. So during this phase, you want to blow everything on cooldown. I'm lusting. I'm doing my Unbridled Fury pot. I'm going to I-beam, blow my seed pods. Well, okay. I'm going to drop my seed pod. I'm going to Immo Aura. So I I-beam and then I meta. That way I get 2 I-beams. Okay? So you I-beam, then meta, then I-beam again. Like right now you're trying to squeeze out as much damage as you can during lust. I dropped my seed pod. He's just standing in it. It's doing a lot of damage. Boss is already at 86% health, and this pull just started. Okay, so he's gonna do this move where he spawns ads from you. I found it easiest to open up with Chaos Nova and then snare them all, and then Glaive Tempest and all that. Okay, so another thing. When you kill the ads, he's going to make a beeline for you. So you want to make sure you're able to Fel Rush right over to the edge. Otherwise, he's going to be up over here. You guys can't see my mouse for whatever fucking reason, which is really annoying. But towards the top left, where I killed those ads, he'll just go over there and drop his stuff there, his black stuff, and you're going to lose a lot of space. Okay, so you want to immediately make a beeline towards the edge. Have a Fel Rush available for that. So now I'm using my Cyclotronic Blast. Does a lot of damage. I think I actually interrupted my own cast there, which is really bad, but you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you channel the full cast. I got an I-beam available. I'm Glaive Tempesting. And then I'm just single targeting Chaos Strike, Chaos Strike, Chaos Strike. Seed Pod just came up again, using that. Chaos Strike, Chaos Strike. I got I-beam coming up here in a second. I'm going to use it. So around 55%-ish, he spawns ads again. He's about to do it, like, probably right now. Yep. So for this, you want to make sure you have some powerful AoE at least about to come up. Oh my gosh. That was bad. That was ugly. Okay, so I'm snaring him. I got my Glaive Tempest. I'm I-beaming. You know, I had some pretty good AoE available for when that came out, luckily, because I timed everything right. And then here, we're just going back on the boss. This is pretty much how it goes for the whole fight. You just blow everything as soon as it comes up. Seed Pod's about to come up. So the next Seed Pod, not this one, but the next one you want to save for the next group of ads. Just because that last group of ads, you don't have a lot of space to kill them in. So you want to save all your AoE for that. Won't be this group of ads, it'll be the next one. So here I'm I-beaming. Alright. So we got this group of ads. Unfortunately for this group of ads, I don't have an I-beam up, which is really bad, so I have to take them extra far away. You want to keep these guys snared as much as possible. Yeah, this pack of ads was not handled very well. I got I-beam coming up, thank God. There you go. Alright. I'm using Cyclotronic Blast. I think I just canceled my own cast again. That's not good. You want to make sure you let your full Cyclotronic Blast go off. Okay, so here is where I start saving all my AoE, with the exception of that one I-beam. I'm saving my Trinket. I'm going to save my next Glaive Tempest, just because I need to be able to burn these ads down quick. I don't have a lot of room. I'm not going to be able to bait them as far. I'm saving my Immo Aura, my Glaive Tempest. Yeah. So here I got 3 different things I can use right on pull. I got my Chaos Nova. Yep, I can snare them. Immo Aura, Glaive Tempest, and then I-beam. Oh, and Trinket. Unfortunately, they started really taking off there. That could have gotten really bad. And here, I'm just panicking. I'm trying to throw as much damage into the boss as possible. And freeze. Alright. Be watching for meta. If you meta'd like right on pull during this phase, it should be coming up right about now. So, meta just came up. I was watching it down to the very second it came up. I immediately press it. Alright. I died once because I forgot I had meta available again, and that was horrible. And here I'm just Chaos Striking, Glaive Tempest. Yeah. And fortunately, we got the kill. I was just about to run out of room. Yeah. If that had gone on for 5 more seconds, I probably would have died. So yeah, it's not a super hard fight. You just kind of gotta like learn the rhythm of the fight in the first phase. In my opinion, the first phase is the hard part. Okay, the last part, as long as you're blowing all your cooldowns as soon as they come up, you should be able to kill him before he kills you. But don't cancel your Cyclotronic Blast cast like I did. That is not good. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this guide helps you out. The tricks and tips I learned helped me out a bunch. So hopefully they're of some benefit to you. If they are, leave a comment. If you really like it, you can even leave a like. That would help me out. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments section, or you can visit me on my Twitch channel, which is also linked in the description. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck with your challenges, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, y'all.